Hi, welcome to day 8 of the Sun Salutation Challenge. Hi, welcome to day 8 of the Sun Salutation Challenge. My name is Nzinga. I'm an experienced 500-hour yoga teacher, and we're in it to win it. So this week is the week that we start to lead this practice from a self-practice perspective. And so you have a couple options just to be mindful as we move through it. You have the option to break today's practice in two, or you're going to do the practice 2 times. And what do I mean by that? You're going to go back to day 4, and day 4 is 24 sun salutations, and you're going to double it. Now, because I know that people have time constraints and things of that nature, this is why we're also breaking it up in that way. The second option is to have a self-practice. You, at this point, should understand what the sun salutations look and feel like in your body, and you can move through that today's 48 on your own without me guiding you. But what I'm going to do now is remind you of how those sun salutations work. And I'm also going to cue you through some yoga practices that'll help you find more ahimsa in your body. So how do we find more mobility in our wrists to keep this practice pretty safe? How do we find more articulation through our spine, since we're doing a lot of back bends and forward folds and things like that? So let's get started with that part. You can always go back to this video to help support that. And then I'll review all the sun salutations. And then we're going to start using our bead method today if you're planning to do self-practice. So let's come into a tabletop position. Stack your hands underneath your shoulders and bring your knees underneath your hips. And let's just do a few cat-cows here, arching through the low back, looking up towards the ceiling. Tuck the toes under and round the spine, dropping your chin to your chest. Inhale, finding your cow. Exhale, round and curl. Do that a few more times. And let's find some circles with our hips. Dancing tiger. And reverse it out. Dial your fingers back and start to find that stretch. If this feels really good, you can pull back. If it doesn't, bring one hand forward and the other arm back. And you can pull back and hold for 5 and then switch hands. Or you can start to make circles also as well. And then reverse it. And then you're going to bring your palms of your hand towards you, fingers dial towards each other. Make a fist. Ooh, that feels good. And then let it go, and do that a few times. Bend those elbows and then lengthen up. And tuck those toes under. And start to walk your downward facing dog, finding your hamstrings, just noticing where they are. And then start to walk to the top of the mat, finding your first forward fold. Grab your opposite elbows, ragdoll side to side. And then slowly roll up for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll the shoulders down and back. Okay, So let's talk about sun salutation, half sun salutation. So standing in your mountain pose, feet out wide as hips or toes together, heels touch and outside of feet. Your feet are parallel. You're going to bring your hands down to the sides of your body. You inhale as you lift your arms up to your upward salute. Now, as you hinge forward, you can always bend your knees or as you go down, especially when you're starting this practice because your hamstrings may be tight. You can bring your hands to the floor or onto your blocks here, okay? And then you're gonna try to find as much length as you can through your hamstrings and through your spine. From here, we take what we call Adho Uttanasana, half forward fold. I sometimes really like the blocks here. You lengthen through the spine. So you're trying to find a flat back. You're thinking about pulling the crown of your head forward as you pull your tailbone back, and you're still here supporting through your abdominals. Then you fold back in. And then you slowly reverse it out as you straighten the legs if they were bent. Bring your palms over your head, and then bring your hands down to the side of your body. So that is Ardha Surya Namaskar, half sun salutation. Now, we're going to talk about Surya Namaskar C, classical, okay? So again, all of these sun salutations start essentially in the same position. So you're gonna bring your feet together and mountain in the way that feels best for your body. On Surya Namaskar C, you're gonna sweep your arms up, palms touch. You're gonna lengthen through the spine, and then you're gonna start to find your back bend. To find your back bend, you wanna lengthen the spine first, push your hips forward, and as you continue to try to find length through your spine, you start to find a back bend. So you want to think about dropping your head back and bringing your upper torso back, and trying not to dump into your low back. Then on your next inhale, you lengthen back up into your upward salute, finding your forward fold as you did in the half. You exhale. On your inhale, you find your half forward fold. Again, lengthening the crown forward and the tailbone back. Then from here, if you need to bring the blocks, bring them on the ground or bring your hands to the ground. You extend the right leg or left leg, depending on what you want to do first. Okay, so if the right leg goes back out, when you're coming back through, the right leg comes forward. You sweep the arms up. You lengthen up. You're now in your low crescent lunge. For low crescent lunge, you're going to push the hips forward, lengthen the spine, and maybe if you're feeling nice and warm, you can add that back bend in there. Inhale to center, bring the hands back down to the ground, and then you have a couple of options here. Option one is you're going to go into a child's pose and just take a exhale here, or option two, you're going to go into a plank. If you go into the plank, you're going to drop your knees down, and then to transition into cobra, you're dropping your chest down, and then you slide through into your cobra. That's option one. Option two is you're going to go from your lunge into a child's pose. And then from there, you're going to look forward, bending your elbows back, and you're going to slide through. And then tuck the toes under to push your hips up and find the crease of your hips to go into your down dog. Now remember, for down dog, you're not dropping your weight into the mat. You're pushing back, dropping your chin to your chest and looking at your navel. Breathe. You're holding here for 5. Then from here, you step that leg that went back forward. So we typically alternate. The first time we go with right, the next time we go with left. And to keep both sides even, the next time you go into the crescent lunge after the down dog, the leg that went back is the leg that goes forward. Now, you sweep the arms back up. You find your low crescent lunge. Then you find your forward fold, again touching the ground, or you find your blocks. And then you find your half forward on your inhale. You exhale into your forward fold, Uttanasana. You sweep the arms back up, reverse swan dive, as we like to say. We lengthen through the spine. We find our back bend, and we inhale back to center and bring the hands down to the sides of the body. And so then we have our Surya Namaskar C. Now for Surya Namaskar B, It's the fastest one in the sun salutation mix outside of obviously half sun salutation. So we sweep the arms up in our mountain pose. There's no back bend. We find our forward fold. We inhale to our half forward fold. And then we press our hands into the floor or the blocks. And then option one is to step out into a high plank. If it's in your practice, you're jumping into your high plank or you're jumping into your chaturanga. Now remember, for chaturanga dandasana, our goal is to find a 90 with our arms. So we're bending those elbows. Maybe your chest doesn't go all the way down. That's our eventual position. And then you untuck the toes and you push up to find your upward facing. Now, I've never kind of taken some time here to talk about it. So let's talk about the difference between upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Shavasana, and Bhujangasana. For a cobra pose, your thighs are on the mat as you're rolling the shoulders down and back. You're bringing the elbows to a slight bend. For upward facing dog, you're pressing through the tops of the feet to lift the chin, knee, and thighs off the mat. And then from there, you tuck under and then you push back into your down dog. You hold for 5 breaths. From here, with the sun salutation, after you hold for 5, you step back into your half forward fold, or you jump into your half forward fold. You lengthen through the spine, you fold forward, and then you slowly reverse it out, bringing your palms above the head, and then bring your hands down to your mountain pose, okay? So that was a breakdown of Surya Namaskar A. Now we're going into Surya Namaskar B. For Surya Namaskar B, that's the one where we're gonna feel the most heat and throughout the whole body. So for Surya Namaskar B, we sweep the arms up and we sit down in our chair so we don't go into an upward salute. And if you may have noticed, I've kind of wanted to just go into an upward salute. You bring the palms together, you sink. If you can, if you don't have low back pain, you're gonna scoop the pelvis in as you sit down in this chair pose. If not, you're gonna take that out and find your neutral spine. Okay, from here, you're gonna fold forward into your forward fold. Again, we lengthen through the half, which is why we've done so much of that Surya Namaskar, Adho Surya Namaskar. Then from here, we walk, step, jump, like we did in our A, to our high plank. You can bend your knees or bend the elbows, untuck the toes, lift up into your upward salute. You push back into your down dog. Now, this is one second place where it's very different than the others. We bring that right leg forward, left heel goes down. And then what we're trying to do is track that left hip forward. And we're trying to keep this back leg nice and straight as we bend through that right foot. Bring the palms together to touch. Bend through the right leg, I should say. You're looking up towards the thumbs. Bring your hands down to the ground. Tuck the toes under. Find your high plank. You inhale here. You bend your elbows. You inhale up. Exhale. Down. And then you step back through. If you're still new to your practice, instead of stepping that leg straight forward into the warrior one, you can sweep the leg up, step that left leg through, right heel drops. Then you sit down and you breathe. Bring the hands down to the ground, tuck the toes under, you find your high plank, you find another chaturanga, you find your upward facing, then you tuck your toes under and find your downward facing. Again, you're gonna hold here for 5 breaths, always having the option, if this practice feels a lot for you in whatever day you're in, to go into your child's pose. From there, you step or hop to your half forward, you find your forward fold, you sink your hips down as you sweep the arms up to find your chair pose, and then stand up nice and tall. So I hope that helped. So again, the challenge for today is to start to move into self-practice. So you grab your beads and you can go back and forth. You can use 9, you can use 6. I've been using 6. And the goal for today is 32. So you're going to use those beads to help you keep count, or you're going to just tally it up every time you do a sun salutation. And I'm going to probably go live for my practice today if you just need a reference video. But I wanted to make sure that you got to see this video early so that you know that you can split that practice into 2, or you can go for the whole time. Just know that our time is increasing, and I know that I want to be mindful of how our days are going. So I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.